Now, especially after asana, and mainly these two asanas, Sukhasana and Siddhasana. Adi Shankaracharya thought of bringing this called Mūlabandha. So when it talks about Mūlabandha, we have already discussed in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. What they say, that there is called Mūladhara Chakra. Mūla Adhara. So that means this bandha, a locking position, is being made in Mūladhara. And because of which the person's apana vayu will not be predominant. So the person arrests apana vayu. Here Adi Shankaracharya takes this as 8th step and plays with this word mūlaṁ. So there how the Mūladhara, Mūlabandha. So he says, look, I also want to take as this is a specific discipline in Yoga Shastra. Now he says, look, Mūla means also root, also cause. Or you can put together root cause. And not only it is a root cause, and bandha we say that it is a specific law, a discipline. But he directly points out, look, Mūlabandha is Brahman. How? So let us look at Yam mūlaṁ sarva bhūtānāṁ. So that means yat, that means that which, yat tat, that which is mūlaṁ. So mūlaṁ means what? The root cause. Root cause of what? Sarva bhūtānāṁ, of all beings. And again, yat mūlaṁ citta bandhanam, that is to be understood very carefully. So again, same Brahman, that which is mūlaṁ, the root of what? Citta bandhanam, the bondage of mind. Why and how? We'll see this, okay? Now he says, look, that Mūlabandha now is called, or this is called as Mūlabandha. So that means that mūlaṁ Brahman is called Mūlabandha here. Again, why? If you want to translate what is Mūlabandha, so Mūlabandha, instead of using the word as it is, Mūla means cause, Bandha means bondage, another Bandha, okay? So I am in Bandha. So cause of bondage, how it becomes, that also we need to see. And finally says, look, also sevyo, this is to be meditated upon. Means this Brahman, this Mūlabandha to be meditated upon, not to be practiced. To be contemplated upon, not to be practiced. And when and how? Sadā, always. Because when Mūlabandha you practice only sometime, few times. Especially when you want to go to toilet, you don't practice, okay? Mūlabandha, okay? Then nothing will happen. So better don't do that. And here he says, sadā, always. And interestingly says, yogyo, it is suitable, it is fit. For whom? Rāja yoginām. For Rāja yogis. When you look at this verse, there are some confusion is there, unless the person looks at very carefully. Number one confusion. Rāja yogi. This word Raja Yogi or Raja Yoga is a very confusing word. In West it has got one meaning. In present India it has got another meaning. As all of you know, especially Swami Vivekananda, when he travelled overseas those days, and he tried to present that there are 4 types of yoga. All of you know this. That is how Swami Vivekananda presented, and later on other Swamijis also tried to took the same thread and tried to explain the further confusion. In short, those who follow Patanjali Yoga Sutra, they are called Raja Yogis, intellectuals. Whereas when you come to India, present India, Raja Yogi is a group now. I would like to highlight whether this Raja Yoga that is predominant now present India, or the Raja Yoga that is talked in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Because Adi Shankaracharya used this word, na? Raja yoginām. This particular verse, if they find, they will say, wow, this is for us, you understand? So we don't practice, we always meditate, we are Raja Yogis. However, here when it talks about Raja Yoga, so what is that Raja Yoga? We have discussed in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So refer 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So that means what? Very carefully we say, that is called Raja Yoga in short. Vyavahare api avikshata citta Raja Yoga iti. In any sort of transaction, still the chittam, the mind, is not scattered, is not affected, is not disturbed, does not get carried away, is well focused, well behaved, well managed. That is called Raja Yoga, and those who do this, that person is called Raja Yogi. Clear? Or else it will be big confusion. So number 1 confusion is taken care. Now second confusion also we need to look at, that this Brahman is called citta bandhanam. So citta bandhanam means the bondage of the mind. So how come Brahman is the cause of bondage of the mind? It's wrong. So far we have been taught ignorance is the cause of bondage. Ignorance is the cause of bondage of my mind. Now suddenly, how come Adi Shankaracharya is bringing that, hey look, Brahman is the cause of bondage of my mind? Yes. Because ignorance by itself cannot exist. So where from ignorance comes? Where does it take its existence? So the ignorance always depends upon whom? Because of whose presence the ignorance is sustained? On Brahman. Well, there is only one thing exists, there is nothing other than Brahman. So that means what? If ignorance is the cause of bondage, so what is the cause of ignorance? The Brahman. But there is only one thing exists. So indirectly Brahman becomes also the cause. That's why don't try to restrict your mind through the Mūlabandha. Because in Mūlabandha also you can citta bandhanam. This is another meaning. That in Mūlabandha or through Mūlabandha, means practicing Mūlabandha, right word. By practicing Mūlabandha, you can arrest your mind. But here, Brahman is the cause of your bondage. And when you understand this, neither you fight with ignorance, nor you fight with knowledge. That's why today I was looking at this point, that person is called a sadhu. Sadhnoti parakaryam karoti iti sadhu, we say, the one who lives for others, not the one who make uses of others for one's own self, okay? For one's own benefit, the one who make uses of others is called sadhu nowadays. But in reality, the one who works or does things for others' benefit is called a sadhu. But I was trying to look at this way. That person is a sadhu as per Bhagavad Gita. The one who always depends upon the Lord, who does not depend upon anybody. So you are called as a saint. So that's why from this they have taken the saintlyhood. That when a person completely depends upon, for anything and everything, on Lord, even if for small things. That's why you can start with your bhakti. It can be artha bhakti, that you are in need. You don't have to go to anybody. Go to Ishvara. Ishvara has to bring somebody to help you. That is what his job. If you are doing prayer, it has to be taken care. Or from then slowly you discover, because when you go to people, then you get more betrayed, or you become more aggressive, more hurt, guilt, lot of things will happen. Whereas when you go to Ishvara, you will see the growth in that. Then from Arti, once you see, after Arti, what will be? Slowly, okay, why to better prepare before problem happens. Then you becomes Artharthi. So you look for security. Not when you are in distress, you go. In the beginning, when you are in distress, you go, like child, When child in problem cries for help. And same child, after a few times, what happens? Discovers, hey, look, it's not I should cry and ask for help. Now, let me create a situation that help will come beforehand. So this is called, devil mind starts working. You observe the child psychology, okay? So they plan in such a way, mother, father, they have to help beforehand. So there, that is called Artharthi. You understand? Looking for security. So from Artha Bhakti, Artharthi Bhakti. Then from that, how long? When you, okay, the security is not everything in life. The more you have problem. Yes, when I didn't have, I had problem, less problem, but now I have more problem. And whole life goes just maintaining. Then what happens? Okay, enough. Then you come to Jigyasu. So that time you becomes Bhakta, a devotee, with reference to knowledge. To know or knowledge. Then from Jigyasu Bhakti comes what? Jnani Bhakti. Then you become a wise person, knowledgeable person. Now here same point is very carefully used. This citta bandhanam, you don't fight. Whereas when you do Mūlabandha, based on Yoga Shastra, yes, as long as you are doing Mūlabandha, that long your energy is uplifted, at least your apano vayu is not active. But the moment you stop, then what happens? Like the dam, okay? So you stop water, the water is stored, then suddenly little bit you open, boom. again you are back to the square. Now he says, look, knowing here that Brahman is Mūlabandha, this is the root cause of bondage. This is the root cause of everything. Now what is to be done? You dwell upon that. And once you dwell upon that, that means that any vyavahara you do, any transaction you do, primarily God, secondarily your transaction. It is exactly like your computer. If you observe your computer, especially when you use many windows, many programs, your CPU takes some percentage. You understand? If you will go to management, you will find out there. So whether it is, green or yellow or red, okay? Suppose you are using old model computer where RAM is less. After opening some 4 or 5 windows, what happens? Everything becomes what? Red or not? Have you observed or not? Whereas if you have got latest all huge RAM and other things, even if you use 20 windows, what happens? Everything will be green. That means even though you don't see, there are many things runs behind. And that makes your computer stable. So also this Brahma Chintanam is like running programs behind in my mind all the time. And that's why we give the example of Shruti. A musician sings loudly, keeping the Shruti in mind, hearing the Shruti all the time. And as long as the musician listens to the Shruti, that long the voice, the pitch will be perfect. If the musician forgets or loses sight of the Shruti, the note, what you call, definitely you cannot listen to that person either. Continue. Aṅgānāṁ samatāṁ vidyāt same brahmaṇi līnatām no naiva samānatvam ṛjutvaṁ śuṣka vṛkṣavat. So again he says, look, now let us go to the next. So this next called here will be 9, called Dehasamyata. Dehasamyata means equipoise of the limbs. And he uses this word very carefully, because in Yoga Shastra, especially before coming for dhyanam, you have to be seated perfectly. Means there should be equilibrium in your body. If the body is not equilibrated, there is no equilibrium, definitely you cannot do dhyanam. That's why in Yoga Shastra, when we go for dhyanam, we make sure that the base has to be as broader as possible, as broader. And if you observe Puranas, whether it's Ravana, wrong sense, or whether it's Bhagiratha in the right sense, when they did tapas called Ugra tapas, So they had to stand in one foot and did tapas. Because that takes long practice, strong determination. Because where your body doesn't have proper base. With one foot you have to maintain your body, not 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes years together. Whereas in a common practice, if you look at any posture that is considered as dhyana posture, where you make sure the base is bigger. That's why sukhasana, siddhasana or padmasana are being used to make sure that you have got bigger space so that body becomes stable easily. Not after 2 minutes, oh my body is paining, my back is paining, oh let me see this thing, let me do that, I think I have to change this, I have to do that. Hey, this is not Dehasamyata, okay? This is completely different. So in short, he says, look, if Dehasamyata is not there, definitely your breathing will not be proper. And when breathing is not proper, your mind is not proper. That's why when a person comes to Vedanta class, cannot do this way, that way, and while walking, talking, juk, 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 it will not work, you understand? Somebody imagine, when I am talking like this, I do like this thing. Will anybody like? You understand? Now, when I talk, now I have a headache, okay? I'm sorry to say. Really, if I talk, I start developing my headache now. Because the way we talk or the way we are being seated, it shows the mind. That's why the way you move, just your movement itself talks about your mind. How you walk need to be observed. Because this is not a Vedanta class, okay? I should not talk all these things. But unfortunately I have to talk, okay? That's the sad part of my life. And here he highlights that we need to have this Dehasamya bhava, where the body is in equilibrium, means there is no unnecessary shaking. So in short, you are aligned. So the physical alignment has to take place as per Yoga Shastra, where we say that the head, neck and the trunk of the body must be aligned, straight line. Okay? Sirokaya Grivam in 6th chapter, okay? In details, Bhagavad Gita. And after this physical alignment, also we need to do what? We need to do pranic alignment. And when you say pranic alignment, not looking at all the chakras and looking at all these things, okay? We don't accept that. In fact, you will go more crazy. Yes, it may be helpful, some cases, nothing wrong in it, but to be very honest, it is completely personal choice. But it is not prescribed medicine. That you have to be very careful, because nowadays this alignment, different alignment, chakra alignment, this alignment, that alignment, and the worst part is who does alignment? The one who is disaligned, okay? That person does the best. You know, many founders, those who created how their life is. Let us not again get into conflict situation. What I am highlighting is first physical alignment, then comes pranic alignment. After pranic alignment, the most important thing we say is that intellectual alignment. That means aligning in the cognition level. That is most important thing that we use. Because why? Now, all the problem that you have, is it related to body or prana or intellect? Please, all the problem that you have, is it related to body, prana or intellect? All your problem is related to cognition. So, if the problem is related to my intellect, now I need to look at my intellectual personality. But what happens? Most of the time, I try to look at my emotional personality. There is a big difference between intellectual personality and emotional personality. Because in cognition, there is no problem. Where there is problem in cognition, that manifests in the form of emotion. Now when you look at your emotional personality, it is exactly like you are taking painkiller. You are trying to divert your mind. And we say very carefully, Dehasamyata means it is related to aligning your intellect. We don't talk about emotion at all. Because first of all, emotion need not be given importance. But problem with people is they give importance to emotion only. And they need intellect to strengthen their emotion. So all intellectual process is being used, like this chakra alignment. First of all, you understand emotion has no value. Then you give strength and you have intellect to align your chakra. Yes, fantastic. As long as you keep aligning, that long your chakra is perfect. Your emotion is perfect because mind is diverted. The moment you stop aligning, what happens? Your emotion becomes more complicated or not? So you only complete one chapter after another chapter. You keep covering chapters after chapter. You understand? But in reality, nothing happens. That's why you look for level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, all levels you keep jumping because you cannot keep quiet. Like very nicely, the person said, after teaching so many years of yoga, said, look, whatever I taught yoga was not right. One famous person, okay, in India. He is no one now. So whatever I taught so far, towards the end of his life, was not right. At least he admitted towards the end, okay, that really, that honesty we have to respect. So coming back, here, he uses this word, that Dehasamyata will take place. Let us not stretch too much. Not just aligning physically, not even aligning pranically, energetically, not even aligning anyway, but intellectually, cognitive way, aligning yourself. So when we say cognitive way of alignment, that's why we say first thing is intellectual honesty. When I am wrong, I know I am wrong. And why I am wrong, then only I can find out. But when I am wrong, no, actually, I was not wrong. Because of this reason, I was wrong. You understand? Because of this person, because of that person, because this happened, because that happened, and finally if nothing happens, because of my graha, I was wrong. Because Saturn pushed me to do this. Rahu did this thing. Ketu did this thing. You understand? Poor planets. I need to understand I am wrong means I am wrong without any addition to it. If there is little bit addition to this, I am wrong because, that means there is no intellectual honesty. Is it clear? That means seriously you don't have cognitive change. And if you don't have cognitive change, or you don't have ability to change cognitively, you are not fit for Vedanta either. Is it clear? Because these are the basic qualification to come to Vedanta class. That's why again and again I have said, Vedanta is not meant for everybody. There are different levels. Yes, this beginning class, little bit Bhagavad Gita, even if little this Bhaja Govindam, small preliminary text, fantastic. So you have some exposure to Vedanta. But when you really want to see Vedanta more and more, you want to live in Vedanta. Not you want to use Vedanta, because using Vedanta, living Vedanta is different, okay? So here we say very carefully that cognitively change to be taken place in me. And here he says, look, how this cognitive change will happen? When you understand the Brahman is sarva adhara. So when you say Brahman is sarva adhara, that means what? It is the adhisthana of all beings. It is the substratum. It is the foundation of all being. And because it is foundation of all being, that's why it is called sama. Same brahmani. So the Brahman, that is homogeneous, that which is equal, that Brahman, when you understand, then mind starts getting absorbed in that. Līnatām. So when mind is absorbed in the homogeneous Brahman, now what happens? There is samatāṁ. It is like when you associate your mind with a jealous person, with insecure person, what happens to you? Your mind becomes insecure or not? It has to be. So when your mind is dwelling upon all the time in Brahman, that is called samam iti, then the samatāṁ, equilibrium of the mind takes place. And because cognitively your mind is equilibrated, automatically Aṅgānāṁ samatāṁ happens. The limbs, all your body does not move at all. That's why if you see yourself very carefully, especially when you are angry, your body is attuned to your emotion. The way you shout, the way you move, anger time, okay? Anger time you are aligned. So how you are aligned when you are angry? Also you need to be aligned every moment. See, observe yourself how it happens. So this alignment that happens, then only you see the difference. What he says, chet now, otherwise if you say no, ṛjutvaṁ is called samānatvam. Ṛjutvaṁ means being straight. I am straightforward. Some people say, oh, I am straightforward. What comes in my mind, I express. Is it straightforward or your stupidity or your arrogance or haughtiness? Means you want to prove that you are right, others are wrong. So that's why he says, look, ṛjutvaṁ, merely straightening the body or trying to straighten your mind. Whatever I think, I talk. You are wrong, I say wrong. You are right, you are wrong, right. Please don't teach me. That's why the intellectual honesty and mere straightening the body is not this equilibrium at all. Dehasamyata is not. Why? He gives the beautiful example. śuṣka vṛkṣavat. Like a dried off tree. Why? Dried up tree does not have any leaf or branch. Even if breeze comes, it does not move because everything is dried. Only what? The trunk is left. It does not move, always straight. So also in life, if you want to be straightforward, everything is straight, except straightening your cognitive thinking. You want to straighten everything, your prana, you want to straight your emotion, you want to straight your body, you want to straight everything. Remember, it is not Dehasamyata at all. More of it, we'll see.